Hey guys, so in the last video I mentioned that on some of the improvements that I was talking about, that I would make other videos basically going more in depth about those, and this is one of those videos. So basically what this video is going to talk about what events that I want to see in Need for Speed 2017. So and I figured I might as well do this one first because I feel like it would be probably the shortest video. It might as well be the easiest one as well for me. So, essentially, some of these events, it's pretty much straightforward, you know. And I'm basically going off of Need for Speed 2015. So, essentially, you know, circuit, sprint, time attack, and time trial. And drag race. You know, some of these, you know, most of the events I do want back. The majority of events, you know, circuit, sprint, time attack, time trial, drag race, drift trial, toge, drift train, and then the little events like drift, what's it called, drift corner and speed run, I believe. Those events I feel like they should be they should return in the next game. The one I'm iffy about is Gymkhana because I don't know if they would add that back, considering I don't think they'll add Kim Block in the main story as the next game. They might have meant for like DLC, and then maybe you can add Gymkhana events as DLC, but I don't know. But obviously, you know, I want most of these events to, you know, return. Now some of the new events I have listed, I have plenty of them. Now, these videos are not specifically say, hey, this should be in, or it's a bad game, you know. These are just giving out what my ideas are, and then hopefully they'll take these ideas and implement it in the game. So that's essentially what this is. So starting off are 2 cop challenges. Now, dating back to I think it was Undercover that they started doing this, I believe. That they had these events where you had to either escape with a certain amount of time, escape with the shortest amount of time, take out cops, set the cost of stay and then escape. Essentially what these are. And I have 2 of them right here. I feel like they should be returned to the next game, which are Escape and essentially I call this the Find Challenge. Obviously Escape, you can either have you know, stay in pursuit for a certain amount of time and then escape the police, or it gives you a certain time limit where you have to escape as fast as possible. So I think that will be really fun and really challenging too, I hope. The next one, like I said, is Fine Challenge, which is essentially like the Cost of Stay Challenge, you know, where you set a certain amount of cost of stay to escape the police. Essentially this is the same thing, you know. Rack up a big fine and then escape the police. So it's pretty much self-explanatory. The next thing is Outrun, and this may come as weird because Outrun races are in Need for Speed 2015, but they're only in the spontaneous races. I would like Outrun to return as like a main, you know, event, because I think Undercover did it, and I think it worked out really well. So, well, not really well, because it was pretty easy to get rid of your opponent, I guess, stuff like that. So, but I think Outrun, as you know, it not only should it be a spontaneous event for like the AI that are driving around, but I think it should also be a main event as well. So yeah. The next event I have is Checkpoint. Now Checkpoint is essentially a time trial, I guess, but to me, I think Checkpoint should still be in the game. I think Checkpoint races are really, really fun. I really enjoyed them, and it just puts your skills to the test, you know. So I think Checkpoint should be added in just for that thing. Canyon Duel. Now this was a Need for Speed Carbon exclusive, where you essentially were on a mountain and it was a 1v1 between you and whoever else. But I want that event to return so bad, because it was intense. If you remember in Carbon, you essentially had like, you were always a tier below like the bosses, and that's what made it so intense. You had to remember like what spot the AI had to slow down, and that's where you had to use that to your advantage, and you can either A, pass him, or B, catch up to him. So, but I think Canyon Duel should be added back, and because I mean it was just an intense event, I really liked it. So, the next event I have is Duel, which is essentially a 1v1. Nothing else needs to be said. I think it should be in there just for fry and stuff like that. The next event is Speed Trap. I also have Top Speed Race and Speed Challenge as also similar names, but I'm gonna go by a Speed Trap for this one. Speed Traps were really fun and most wanted, and I can't remember if they were in Carbon. I think they were. Yeah, they were. Speed Traps are, it's obviously, you go through each checkpoint and it clocks your speed. Obviously, the fastest speed or combined speed wins. So I think they should add that back, and I just love Speed Trap. I think it was really fun, and I think they should add it back. These next two were from Need for Speed Undercover. The first one was the Highway Battle, which was it's an exclusive, I believe, to Undercover. Essentially, it was a 1v1 on the highway with a bunch of traffic, and you either beat them when the time ran out, or you got ahead of them by a certain amount of feet. And those were pretty intense too, just evading all the traffic if you could. I think that should be returned. Essentially, also if they add more traffic guards as well, which I think they should. But if they're going to keep around the same amount of traffic guards as they did in Need for Speed 2015, then I think really this event really shouldn't be in the game. Along with this next one called Highway Wars. Now this was exclusive to Undercover as well, and it was also exclusive to its challenge series. This was essentially a race on the highway. There's a lot of traffic. It was essentially a bigger highway battle. I think that should be implemented. Like I said, it's the same scenario with highway battle. If there's going to be more traffic in the game, then I highly recommend this event be back. If not, then don't put it in the game. But yeah. So the next event is Race Wars. Now for Race Wars, I think they should have a certain area where you can meet up, and that's where it is. It's kind of like in the Fast and Furious movies, and I think Fast and Furious 1 and 7, where they had this little meetup spot, and there was a bunch of drag racing and stuff like that, and I think it should be like that. It also be in Carbon, where you have 20 cars lined up, and obviously fastest car wins, essentially what Race Wars is. So I think it's cool, when you start from the back and you just try to work your way up. And obviously I think both those ideas would be really cool, and I hope that it would be in the game. The next thing is tournaments. Now this was in Underground, and essentially tournaments where you just when you win the tournament, I think you unlock performance upgrades. I think that's what the main idea for tournaments were. Obviously in this game you could have main story tournaments. You can also have I guess online tournaments as well. That's essentially what Speedless is, isn't it? Yeah. But you can have specifically Need for Speed can have its own tournament, and you unlock special cars and stuff like that on it. So I think tournaments would be pretty cool. And the next event is I wrote this down as events with specific requirements. Now Need for Speed 2015 had some events like that. I know one of them was Magnus Walker's events, where you had to have the car below, I think it was 250, and you had to beat his time. I think an outlaw event was you had to be below 200 horsepower and rack up I think it was a $2,000 fine and stay in pursuit for 5 minutes. And then there's others where you had to achieve 150 miles per hour in an event for the count. I like those events, but I wish they would do more in terms of the cars themselves. It's for example, this event should be all-wheel drive only. This event should only have Nissans, or this event should just have above 500 horsepower or whatever. Make more of those events, but not just power and speed wise, but add manufacturing into the twist. That's essentially what I have. So then these next 6 events are essentially brand new events to the series, I think. And yeah, so let's get started. So the first one, I think it was a highly requested event for Need for Speed 2015, but obviously, you know, they're not going to be able to do that anymore because, yeah, they're not doing that anymore. They're not doing content update stuff, so it's a shame. But this one's called Pink Slips. Essentially, it is a 1v1, and instead of, well, you can bet money if you want to, I guess, but essentially, if you win another person's car, and I think these events are just cool. It's a very high risk, high reward scenario type event, and that's what I love. These type of, it's street racing, you know. There's no rules, so I think that Pink Slip should be added in the next game. I think it was I know Undercover had them, but it wasn't really like it never said it was a Pink Slip race. It was more like, I don't know. Undercover was confusing with the way they implemented it into the game, but I think Pink Slips as an event should be in the game. Next one, Drift Tandems. And obviously, if you pay attention to Formula Drift, you would know what this is. But for people that don't know, essentially, for this event, you know, one car leads and the other chases, and you get points. I'm going off what I think. I think they judge points based off like the speed of your drift, the angle, and how close you are to the lead car if you're a chase car. If you're a lead car, you just gotta keep up your momentum. You gotta keep your angle, keep your speed. Don't make any mistakes, and then obviously that's first round. Second round, they would flip flop and do the same thing, and then the winner would be declared after that, or they would do it one more time. I think that'd be cool to implement tandems into the game as an event. Obviously, they'll make a lot of drifters happy, and I think it'd be, you know, pretty cool to have an event. This next event is called the Red Light Challenge. I think this was a Midnight Club Los Angeles event, something like that. Essentially, there's those cars that hang around the red lights, and you get to challenge them. Like, you blink your lights and you challenge them, and it's obviously like mainly from like one end of the city to the other. So I think it'd be cool to add that. But for this one, it'd be cool if they had certain like challenges to it. Like, for example, you have people that one day race, or some that one day would drift, some one day Gymkhana style, and like a time trial. So I think that would be pretty cool to have in the game. And again, just live, you know, just makes the game a lot better. Car meets. Now, there should be I'm not sure how to implement this as an event, because essentially it's just, to be honest, I think car meets is where I think my idea is that you go to a certain place, like maybe like the top of a parking lot, or like a parking area, and you go up there, and it's like you get to see other people's cars. You get to challenge them to races, like money races, which is the next event I'll be talking about. Pink Slips, where you just show other people's cars and just talk. You know, that's what car meets are for. You know, you just talk to other people, and then if you feel like you want to challenge someone, then they're right there. So, money races, like, it's essentially, you know, you bet money. You bet a lot of money, and then you go out and win money. That's just all it is. And then style show. I want this to be like an online type of thing, or do I don't know. Essentially what style show is like you make a really good car, and people, I guess, just vote on your car. Yeah. Essentially, I was trying to go for the rate my ride approach from I think it was Los Angeles again. I think they had that, and I'm not sure how they went by it, because I don't think I ever did that. But essentially, a style show is basically like you add like your best, like, you know, car, and then people vote on it. And I think it'd be cool if they did something like that to it. So, now if they want to add the AI cars again, which I'm assuming they will, I think the 5 challenges that they should have is Sprint, Outrun, Drift Challenge, Highway Battle, and Red Light Challenge. I think those 5 events would fit pretty well into the game. I thought about Pink Slips as well, but I felt like it was just didn't make sense. So, the final thing I want to talk about is the challenge series. Now, in the last video, I mentioned that I wanted the challenge series to return, because I think it was really fun, like a little side mode that you could do. Plus, you always unlock stuff, you know, like parts, unlock cars, stuff like that. So, I think it'd be cool to add the challenge series back. So, essentially, that's what I want back. So, The challenge series that I have is essentially like the Need for Speed the Run, where you have the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Obviously, gold unlocks one thing. To get platinum, then you can unlock something else. So, essentially, the events that I want to see for the challenge series is sprint, circuit, time trial, time attack, drag race, drift trial, tailgate, drift train, gymkhana, outrun, checkpoint, canyon duel, speed trap, highway battle, highway wars, and race wars. I feel like it's a very, very nice mix of events, and obviously they'll give you the car that you need, and yeah, you just gotta beat the events. Simple as that. Of course, I think they could add the escape and the find challenge as well into that. Just twist up a little bit as well. So I think they would add that as well. And then the last thing on my list is basically talking about the DLC, which again I'll go over in a different video. Essentially, it just goes through each game and has like what challenge stuff I have. So, but I'll go over that in a new video. So essentially, this is all the stuff that all the events that I want in the next game. Like I said, I'm not demanding like these events be in the game, but I'm just really think this gives like a wide brand. You know, I love when I mix my words. Like a wide variety of events for people to choose from, and I think having all these events in would make the game very, very, lively and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.